Hi there. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. So we are on day 12 of 30 days of homemade Christmas gift ideas. And so I am going to do one of our aprons that we had on the Black Friday sale. I was going to look. It's just called a red apron. It was free with purchase, I think 2 weeks ago on the Black Friday deals. And FYI, if you haven't gotten in on the Black Friday, the things that are on this week, the snowman that's transfer that's free with purchase, and the clipboard stand. So here it is. It is a full size apron, and I kind of like this. It's got the hardware on it to move it, so it's not like a tie behind the neck. It's got the nice hardware on it. So I'm going to do two things on it today to make it a gift. I'm not even exactly sure what I'm going to do with it. The red makes me think I need to go white. I know that kind of makes it a little bit Christmassy, but hopefully there are people out there that do like white in their kitchen. So, or would appreciate I'm sorry, not white, red in their kitchen year round, because I was going to look to see if the apron was still available. Because even if you purchase the apron, but you could purchase an apron from anywhere to make this gift. So don't feel like if you missed out on the Black Friday sale that you're out. But if you did get it and are looking for ideas, I'm hoping to bring you some ideas today. Yes, it's $16, $11.20 for Perks members. So $16 is not too bad, I don't think, for an apron. Because I've actually purchased them. I purchased black ones and denim ones. The black ones have been running me more like, about the same price, $16, $17. The denim ones were more like $23 at Joann's. And I've never caught them on sale. So unfortunately, they just don't seem to be something that goes on sale. I think I'm going to start sweating now because I was fiddling around with my heat. It was feeling chilly in here. It says it's only 55 in here. So it felt like cold air was blowing out of my little heater. I have a little box heater here in the Airstream. And I have a lot of paints and inks in here that I like to just kind of keep it I don't care that doesn't have to be 80, but it is set for 75. And I put it up to high. And now it's starting to feel like it's hot. So I might have to turn this down here. But hopefully you're having a great day, great week. Happy Thanksgiving week. Tell me if you're having some fun celebrations. So I am using an old transfer for the top portion of this. I want to use this one with the fork that says, if you feed them, they will come. I've had this for a long time. I don't know why I haven't ever. It's from 2021. I didn't get it then. I got it on a later deal. And I think it probably came back on the deals. I always cut these big ones in half because they help me find things to do with them that way. And they fit in one of my binders instead of being in my big file and kind of getting lost. So I cut them in half, and then it fits into one of my binders where I kind of have this size all in there. Not organized, I'm not going to lie. Not organized, just have them thrown in there. So we're going to use this. This is one of the older transfers, but it's going to work out just fine. Don't hesitate to go back and use some of your old transfers if you've got old transfers. So I'm going to put you down so you can see this. And we are going to, I don't know where to put it. If you have somebody that is a newlywed, a really fun gift that I have given to all the newlyweds or at weddings, in fact, has been an apron for his and her apron, a bride and groom. You could do his and her, Mr. And the saying I've been doing is Mr. and Mrs. I've been using the wedding transfers for that. I just like this fork. And then we're going to add another element to this. So hopefully this will give you some ideas. We are going to use ink, so it's permanent, and then it can be totally washed and dried once you heat set it. And if you've been watching me at all or know me at all, I have been totally out of white ink. And so are almost out of white ink. So I've been afraid to use white ink. I got it in, but I also ordered it on, this is the bad thing about Black Friday. I keep ordering things because I'm running out of things. But we're gonna use up the old pot, and I've got a new one sitting here on standby, but I think we've got plenty. My white is a little bit thick. This is a non-toxic, oops, I went out of the lines already, you guys. This is a non-toxic ink, and if you get it outside the lines, it is going to stain it. I always check my fingers well before touching fabric because I don't like to get the ink outside the lines. And so here we are. Well, if you can catch it while it's wet, you can use a little bit of like spot remover on it too to try to get it out. But I can usually get it out by using just a little bit of water on it, wet it down good, and then scrub away, and it will come off. So hopefully it will come off. This is kind of a dark fabric to be getting it off. You guys know all the history with dark fabric and dark pigments in inks. Sometimes they don't always work well with erasing things. So it may be permanent, but I think I got it. I think we'll be good. So what I'm just going to do is squeegee this on. If you could butter toast, you could do this. It's so easy peasy, and it's so much fun to make your own. You can make signs with this. You can use it on wood. You could use it on plastic. You can use it on metal. This would make a really cute kitchen sign as well if you were wanting to do that. And with ink, you could take your time. You don't have to hurry because it's not going to dry up in the transfer and then come off when you peel it back. So, and also when you're peeling, right before you peel, make sure you check your fingers to make sure all the ink is off. And then we're just going to peel slowly because if there's something that didn't work out right, we want to fix it. We want to lay it back down and fix it before we remove it because it's harder to find the spot again. But everything looks good. That looks all good. And even my spot looks okay. I maybe got a little bit of the water kind of leaked into the rest of it. And so I have to be really careful with that spot right there. But once this dries in 24 hours, what I'll do is I'll come back with a piece of parchment paper and a hot iron for 4 minutes on this. And that will be it. That will be the heat set on it. I'm going to take this to the sink and wash it with just regular water and one of our board erasers. And this will be good to go another, like at least a dozen times probably. All right, we're setting that one aside. And I do have an ink mat under here because a lot of times I feel like I have ink on my finger again. So I'm going to wipe my hand. A lot of times it does go through fabric. So I always take precaution. You can see it went through. It didn't really like leak into the mat. So I don't have to worry about the mat. So I'm going to go ahead and move this up, being careful of the ink I have open. I'm moving it way out. Also, we don't want to put other parts into it before it's dry completely. And I'm going to do the pocket. There's 3 pockets on the front of this. And I think I could be a little bit fancy with it. I don't know. We'll see. Wish me luck, okay? There's 3 pockets. They're kind of interconnected. So I thought it might be fun to put this transfer. This is the Moroccan tile transfer that came with the tray kit. And I was going to look for you. The apron was available and the tray kit is still available. It is at full price. It's not the $15. It's $36, but you get the tray, the paste, a paste tray, the squeegee, and this transfer, which could be used, over and over and over for $36. So not as good of a deal, but still not bad. Trays are generally not the cheapest. All right. And this is a brand new transfer. And because we're using it on fabric, I do not have to go through. I laid over it looks shiny, but you can see my white ink on my strap. That was not good. Try not to do that. Yeah, even if you fold it over, sometimes you can definitely give it a dry too. And I might do that because it actually kind of smeared my fork a little. So I'm gonna, fortunately, that's the place I have the water. So whenever you're wiping really near your paste or your ink, always go towards your towards where you want it. And then change your spot often so you don't smear it in. All right. I'll leave that. I'm going to dry it a little bit, especially that wet spot, because that ink is really wet there under the water. So the inks are water soluble. Not water soluble, but you can add water to them if they get too thick for you. And you know, they're non-toxic, so it's a pretty good mix with water. It's not like oil paints or anything like that. And even regular ink is not this pliable and workable. And regular ink, when you do ink transfers, it usually smells pretty bad. So okay, we're gonna get back to this and not touch that again. Hopefully we've gotten that dry enough so that it doesn't smear again. All right, so we're just gonna set this aside here. My scissors away. And I am just going to center it on the pocket. I'm not going to cover the whole pocket. I'm just going to center it. And then I'm going to repeat it again, I think. And I'm going to try to line it up with the edge here. A little bit inside. I don't want it on the thread. I'm going to do it a little bit inside the thread. And hopefully I can get the other side lined up as well. So we will see. And if you are worried about it leaking through the pocket, you could put a piece of cardboard inside the pockets to keep them. You could put any words. You could even just do all the pasting down here. So we're going to stick it down really well. And then we're going to get our ink back in here and do the whole thing. And then I'm going to try to repeat it again. And the sewing is not straight. My girls would have a lot to say about that, I think. We always, because they take sewing in 4-H, one of their projects has them check fabrics or sewing in, you know, like clothing in stores to see their quality of clothing and to decide, you know, rate the different stores in their clothing quality. And so we often talk about, you know, how badly things are made these days. It's really hard. Even the nicer stores, it's really hard to find, you know, good brands. Even the good brands are not having great quality of sewing. So it really doesn't matter where you go for it. But we're just going to use this tray on here. If you have any of I saw the large buffalo check is now available. If you haven't gotten that in the past, that is an age-old go-to transfer. I love me some buffalo check. It is gorgeous. You can use it over and over and over, which I have on lots of things. Love the buffalo check transfer. If you don't have it, it's on the site right now. I just saw it. So it is available. Go ahead. If you have any questions or want the information about some of the materials, I have the links down below for that. And also, if you would like to, if you have specific questions, feel free to text me. There is a text number down below, and you can join my text email list or text list, not email list. And I can also remind you when I go live, although I'm not doing these ones so much because there's a lot of them. I would hate to like remind you every day unless you wanted that. Tell me if you do. I'm happy to do that, but most people a couple times a week is fine. All right. I usually my reminders for live reminders, I try to do it once a week. So, but I'm usually live normally, not during the holiday season. I'm usually live Mondays and Thursday afternoons at 2 o'clock Pacific time. I live in Idaho. Hopefully I didn't just stick my sweatshirt. Inking, I'm the messy person, but I love it. It is very forgiving, even if you make a little mistake, as long as you catch it when it's wet. But oh my goodness, I love this. I love, love, love this. And I may be a little bit crooked, but we're just going to ignore and continue on. That is really cute. I love that. Now we're going to try to hit up the rest of the, I don't know how, I didn't measure this out at all. I wonder, because I want to set it down right on the line that's here on this end to repeat it. And I think we're just going to end it where it ends. That's what we're going to do. It's okay. I might do a little taping over here so I stop. Okay. I think we got that lined up. And you can use these a couple of times. If you found that like a spot leaked underneath, maybe don't do that. And I'm going to take, I think I have some here, transfer tape here. This is tape that's it's super cheap. It's worth picking up though. I'm just going to put transfer tape down the side. I guess to make it look not so stark on this side, maybe you could have done like an off a little bit and then off a little bit on this side. If I would have measured it out and pre-thought about it, but I'm just going to go in about what the distance is from the other edge and just put a straight line down so that I can You could also stick the backing underneath, but sometimes the backing holds it up a little bit. So I don't necessarily like that option. We're gonna go above and beyond so I can see it. There we go. There we go. That looks pretty straight. And I'm just taping off the section where I don't want to go. So I'm just going to do this section right here. I'm going to make sure it's down. And when I'm doing this side, I'm going to make sure that I'm going in one direction because it is a little less sticky the second time and a little harder to print. If you were worried about that, go ahead and wash your transfer in between. Let it dry out good because you don't want the extra water in your ink. And then do it over again. So do it the second time if you're not too sure about yourself. I take some chances sometimes, but I've been doing this probably like 6 years. I've been using Chalk Couture. I actually looked for Chalk Couture. I didn't know Chalk Couture existed, but I was looking for ways to make my craft projects for my craft fairs look better and more professional. And that's how I kind of stumbled on Chalk Couture. I met a lady online and I watched all of her things on her blog that she did that looked amazing. And speaking of which, I do have a blog too. Prairie Scraps at blogspot.com is my blog as well. I'm not as good at like getting over there. I've had it for a long time though, and I need to stay on top of it a little bit better because I had an older one that I just lost. So I need to kind of stay with it a little bit better. There's so many things. I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, all the places. So sometimes it's hard to keep up with. Plus, I have a cleaning business and I'm a music therapist and I like to I have those businesses going too. And I do a little bit of home health care for some friends too. So you can see I'm getting pretty covered in white. I'm just putting everything back that I didn't use. I'm going to set this aside over here so I don't get any more dirty from it and shut my ink up. And I still have ink. I don't have to even open the new one. I was worrying about a lot of things about using white ink, and here I've got plenty. So we're good to go. And I did go outside the lines here. So I'm going to wash my hands first, grab another wipe, and try to get that off before I take off the, oops. I just think my garbage is on that side. Oh, I'm really bad with going outside the lines today. Going outside. I don't know tell me how your weather is. How is your weather report going? I got a little on the strap over here. Boy, I am batting 1,000. Got a little bit down below here, so I got that off. All right. I think my fingers are all clear now. Just wiping it. Oh, maybe not. Just when you think you got it all. Okay, we're going to peel to reveal and just see how this turned out. I'm really excited. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Cute, cute. It's a little more muted this time. But there it is. Nice. And I even think I could put a hard line on here by using this other side. I'm thinking about it. Isn't that beautiful? Just to make it look finished, I might do that. We're just going to shorten those boxes. I'm finding the end of the line on each side by lining up the lines inside. And then I'm just going to, and if you think this is too close for you to like go on, like you'll go off or whatever, and you're worried about that, then please, feel free to tape it off. Tape it off. When in doubt, use some blue tape around it if you need to, or the transfer tape works. I'm going to go back in, but I'm going to use a tool this time to just do this line. Hopefully we are in the right neighborhood here. I'm trying not to go too hard in, but I'm also, I guess I should have gone the other way. There we go. Just try to get, I'm not pushing really hard because I don't want it to make a new pattern. I might have made some new patterns. We'll see. All right, we'll take that off and see how that went. Nice. Kind of looks a little bit more finished. See a spot. Just didn't print. Now it's getting sweating hot in here. So I guess high heat works. I think that's good enough for now. Nice. You can't even tell. I'll hold that up a little bit here. I'm going to put this aside so I don't get any more ink on myself and get my ink put away again. This I'm going to wash so that it can be put away. That I always wash the tool and put it back in. What's that? Oh, ink. All right, get this put away. I got ink on my cords in here. We're doing great. Doing great. All right. So there we go. Like 20 minutes, and I've done my fair share of talking and kind of goofing around here. And we have a cute little, a cute apron. Remember we made those snowman spoons. Those could go in the pockets. You could put a baking mix with a little, I knew that was a piece of ink was sitting there, and I smeared it instead of lifting it. It was just like sitting on the top. And so, where else did I see? I did something. Kind of sprinkled out from that. When your paste and your inks get low, they kind of get little crunchies around the outside and they sprinkle everywhere. Okay, so it's not absolutely perfect. I can tell you that. It's not super perfect. But, however, oh my goodness. That's not good. I had cardboard. I always keep the pieces to the mat, the ink mats. They are all available, by the way. FYI. Ink mats are back. For a while there, we didn't have the big one, and the big one is my favorite, the 18 by 18 size. I just prefer it in size. All right, let me get this turned around so you can see it. I will get it up closer to you without doing anything to it. Isn't that nice? You could see that it's sort of cut off on this side. There we go. It's sort of cut off on that side. It's not a full square over here. But it totally, you cannot, like unless you're looking for it, it looks fine, right? I think it's great. I love it. And then the top, let's get this up here so you can see it. At the top, whoops, too much sky. There's the top of the apron. If you feed them, they will come. I just think it's really cute. I just love this fork. I've definitely got little tidbits of ink all over the place here. I can see it. If you get it right away, you're all good. So, just take your wipe and wipe it off. And then, like I said, I'll let this dry for 24 hours, and then I will come back and iron it with a hot iron and parchment paper, and it will be good to go. So hopefully this gave you some ideas. You could do all kinds of things. You could do a Christmas one. We've got some Christmas transfers that you could use. These would be great on the pockets. This is, I don't even know what this one is called. Festive Features, I think it's called. There's also this one. I haven't even used this. Warm Winter Wishes would be cute on it. It's got, you know, snowman. And also you could use our last month's last month's club, the little gingerbread man. He would be cute in white. All cute ideas. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you come back tomorrow. It will be day 13 of it. Today is day 12 of homemade Christmas gifts. If you would like to see it ahead of time, I do lots of content ahead of time and extra special content for members only. So you could join my membership. Also, it helps me put out it, produce information, helps me relieve my other jobs, really is what it does. So I appreciate you stopping in. Make sure you say hello. Tell me where you're watching from, and make sure you have a very blessed Thanksgiving week this weekend, and keep on crafting.